What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. We've got Houndish, Story Machine, and Briar Rabbit here to discuss Bungie's reveal of the changes to the Cosmodrome. So we got to see a little bit of the Cosmodrome. We also got to see the Gjallarwing, which long fabled, but now recently confirmed. And we got to see a little bit of the Siva infected Fallen and some Siva infected locations inside the Cosmodrome. What'd you guys think? It looked pretty cool to me, man. I really liked the snow-covered areas of the Cosmodrome. I liked how the areas had been modified, and it looked like there were new areas to explore as well inside the Cosmodrome.
Yeah, man.
It looks awesome, man.
Yeah, I've no complaints with how things are looking. I like the new enemies and the artifacts that are left behind. You know, the stuff that's growing all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
a bit reminiscent
super cool,
of
man.
War of the Worlds in.
The movie version with Tom Cruise?
With
Yeah,
Tom
I had that
Cruise.
feeling too.
Yeah, I got a bit of that. I liked it, and I liked all the severed, the smouldering, bits of metal that had been spliced off and all that kind of business. Those were nice little touches.
The little shanks rolling around, or not rolling, but flying around, actually, using lasers to cut metal as we're playing. You can shoot those guys out of the sky.
Yeah, they're
awesome,
intelligent little GoPros doing stuff.
Little
What do
drones.
you reckon? What do you reckon about that new armor and stuff, man? Because we got to see the Hunter and Warlock and Titan armor. I guess it's going to be like Vanguard Vendery stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would guess so, man.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, it looks cool. I didn't really pay that much attention to the armor, to be honest. I like the surroundings and stuff.
I thought
The Warlock looked fantastic. I love the helmet on the Warlock.
And
the Titan I wasn't so big on. I didn't really
man.
love the pattern on the armor as much, but the Warlock looked fantastic.
Yeah.
And frankly, I'll be honest, the Hunter didn't really stand out at all to me. I like the fact that there is brand new models though for the armor. It's not just recycled, models from previous content.
Well, that was the issue with the Titan stuff. It was like the helmet it looked more or less the same as the Vanguard stuff that you get now. It just had a different paint job on it, whereas the Hunter and Warlock stuff did look different. The cloak was kind of looking like is it the Cloak of No Tomorrow or whatever the new PS4 exclusive is at the minute. It looked very reminiscent of that.
Yeah.
But Warlock definitely looked the best. That was like...
Yeah, it was the most standout. It was the biggest change. Like
streamlined kind of gimp mask.
There's kind of like this half cape in the front, like that hang out over his like half of his chest, and the helmet just looked fantastic. I'm really looking forward to I always that's part of Destiny, right? Is collecting all the new stuff and trying to level up your Guardian, but also looking unique from all the other Guardians in the tower or on patrol. And that's something that Destiny's got better and better at as we've gone. You very rarely see identical Guardians anymore, and this looks like it's gonna just add more variety, because we know that we're gonna be able to take our Taken King stuff into year 3 with us, into the Iron.
Oh, has that been
Rise of Iron
confirmed?
with
Has
us.
it? Is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Infusion is carrying on.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
you'll be able to use your old stuff. You'll be able to use your new stuff. You'll be able to mix and match it the way you like.
Good.
So
It's
you
gonna
just
be
more options.
Nice.
It's going to be like the biggest pool of relevant gear that we've ever had in the game at one time, isn't it?
I
big time
really
cool.
I really like that, because like some of the stuff, like when DJ's pulse rifle, I did not like the look of that.
Oh, you didn't like that? I thought that was
no.
cool looking.
I mean,
It
wonder
looked,
where that's
at
gonna
first I
come
thought it
from,
was a
man.
shotgun, because it has that universal remote
the
sight
sights.
on it. It was very reminiscent of the universal
Yeah,
remote.
the sights are great. I've got, I think I've got a scout rifle or something with that sight on it, man. So I was like, really, that's cool. But I just didn't like the colors. And
I didn't mind the colors, but I like that. I guess I was just enamored with the fact that it was a new model, right?
Yeah.
It's
Well,
not
yeah,
the same
true.
model we've been playing with.
True.
Did you guys see the Suros? The Siva
The black
Suros?
The black one,
Yeah,
That's
that looked
pretty
really
interesting.
cool. Yeah,
They look like
new sights
gunsmith
on that.
weapons as well, don't they?
It did. It looked like the current Suros gunsmith weapon, but with a black color scheme.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? Anything new is okay by me. I'd rather get brand new models. But those Suros, specifically the Suros auto rifles, I haven't played with too much, because they're just not the right archetype for the Crucible right now.
They're a bit pants.
That's it.
That's what.
Yeah.
They're a
So-
bit pants. So yeah.
It'll be interesting to see whether the Siva variety of weapons, like if they are related to gunsmith at all, whether it'll be like a side section of the gunsmith, or maybe they're doing something interesting with like end game, like raid loot or something like that.
Oh,
where
yeah,
it's not
I
going to
mean,
be like fixed, like it has been up until now, like fixed weapons. Maybe
they're
going to link those things together somehow.
I think
so
it's interesting.
the
was gonna
weapons
wait
that we
till the
get
end
for
of
the
the
new
podcast.
raid are definitely going to be Siva oriented. So
Yeah.
I keep getting it mixed because we've got a supermarket called Siva over here.
I was going to wait until later about this, but we've kind of brought it up already. We saw that the enemies, right, the fallen enemies have the Siva infection. They also appear to have a new burn. The color of their laser beams, for lack of a better word, or their fire toward
red.
you is this bright red, right? So traditionally we've seen three colors. We've seen the arc, the solar, and the void, which is purple, orange, and blue. But this is red. This is completely different. This is new.
Yeah,
Do you think it's a new burn? Do you think it's like a Siva burn?
Definitely. I think it's called Tandoori. I think that's the Illuminati leak.
If
that could be a thing though, absolutely.
Right,
That
if
would
the
be pretty
fallen
cool.
have that, like if we walk down this path and assume that this is a new burn, which isn't necessarily the truth, it just could be a different color for solar burn or something.
Yeah.
If we walk down the path thinking that this is a new burn, then could our raid weapons have that burn on it?
They better. I want lots of... If we've got a new burn, I want to show it off.
Could we get a new subclass that has that burn as well?
Possibly. That's really interesting, man.
I think personally they
thing.
would save the new subclass for Destiny 2 unless we get shocked with... I mean, Rise of Iron already seems a bit lacking in terms of what we've got information-wise, so a new subclass would be ideal, but I don't know, something's telling me they're going to hold back and save that for Destiny 2 next year.
They did sort of tease new what was it, combat abilities or capabilities, unless they were just talking about enemies. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were referring to guardians potentially in that as well.
I think it's just
could
something
be
to
a thing,
think
man.
about. I don't know if it'll happen, but it's a logical. It's not that far away from logical that if you progress down that line of thinking, that if the Fallen have a new burn, then Guardians would get that burn as well.
That's it.
In an ideal world, yes. If they get some, we get something as well. But,
Right.
yeah.
But
That would be
it could
great,
just
man.
be a recolored version of Solar Burn or something else.
Yeah.
Could just be.
That's it.
I gotta say, graphically, the updates look pretty apparent to me. Like you could see why they had to drop the 360 and the PS3 here. The
Absolutely.
snow falling just looked great. All of the enemies, it felt like there were enemies on the ground. There's just more activity in the world. You saw the Siva virus kind of pulsating. You saw the shanks kind of tearing up the world and the glowing red iron. You saw footsteps in the snow from your guardian. Like there just seemed to be a little bit of extra graphical luster to the.
Were you watching the stream on Source? Because I think I had to watch one on Medium because of getting a bit of lag and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But like I missed all of that. But it's good to hear because I wasn't really paying too much attention on those kind of things. So that's pretty good to know.
It looked really nice to me.
Nice.
I'm not gonna say it looked like Destiny, not like the upgrade that Halo 2 got over Halo 1, right?
Yeah.
It's not that big a leap. Still the same engine, still the same game.
I didn't think it looked like any worse or anything like that. I mean, it's certainly, Destiny's a pretty game. It's always been a pretty game,
but there just seemed to be a little bit of extra flourish that I was watching a web video of a video game, which isn't necessarily the best source quality, but it looked good.
Nice. What do we think about the Gjallarwing in the pre-orders then? I'm sure everyone...
I'm going to pre-order and I'm going to buy the gold version. I'm just saying.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, man. I genuinely thought that it was not real.
Well,
Yeah, I
I
didn't
didn't
think so
see it
either.
coming.
it
Yeah,
does
they
it does really smack of pre-orders weren't doing that well. What we're going to do? I know. A Gjallarwing sparrow. I mean,
Well,
I
if
think-
you watched, they went through all the design iterations of this thing. I think it's been in development for a long time, and the leak version of this looks very similar to what we're seeing. So my suspicion is this thing has been pretty much finalized for many months now, and that it was always kind of planned, and that maybe we'll see another thing. The next reveal event is going to be at Gamescom, where they do the Crucible. We might even see something new then too. Maybe they're just rolling these things out slow to build the hype.
Well,
that's it.
That is true, but yeah, I do think my suspicion is that the pre-orders weren't doing so well, so they pulled something out to try and snare it. I mean, I was always going to pre-order it because I'm a fan of the game, but like I haven't done it yet. But now that's even more incentive to, even though it did look a bit bulky. It looked really big. I mean, I suppose that might turn some people on, you know, riding about in what looks like a Sparrow Cadillac. It looked really wide, didn't it, when they were scooting about on it?
It's pretty gangster.
You're going to have to get some curb feelers on that thing to park it, right?
And it, man. But where are the furry dice? I mean...
Yeah.
They were underneath in the back.
Yeah,
Instead of truck nuts, he's got some furry dice just kind of waving around back there.
And them air fresheners that look like Christmas trees, the Schnitzenbaums or whatever they are. I don't know what they're called, man. They're German air fresheners in the shape of a Christmas tree. But yeah.
No idea. There will be 2 versions of it as well, won't there?
Yeah.
There'll be the normal, just the Gjallarwing and the Iron Gjallarwing, same as the Gjallarhorn. So you can get the normal ones from a quest somehow, which is cool.
For the Iron Gjallarhorn, I think looks far better than the gold Gjallarhorn that we're all used to. Like, I was really impressed by how that looked. But for the Gjallarwing, I like the golden one better. It looks so cool. Yeah. So I'll be buying that from the Eververse Trading Company, no doubt about it.
Absolutely.
He's got his wallet there. He's at the front of the queue. He's pitched
Throwing
his
money
tent
at the screen
already.
as we talk.
He's waiting. He's waiting already.
You know, I'm just so hyped for new content that, you know, I'll take what I can get. You know,
man.
This is looking really exciting as we learn more about it. There's nothing that they've said so far that I've been like, oh no, why are you doing that? Like, you know, every time I'm just like, yeah, give me more. And I think they did a smart thing. They showed very little of the Cosmodrome in this preview.
Yeah.
But they got my appetite very, very
Moistened.
activated.
It's gonna be nice to be in a big atmospheric space again. You know, like an outdoor space. So it's gonna be so awesome, man. I really hope they take advantage of the opportunity to improve all the patrols and stuff like that. Especially with how it's looking, like you were saying, how you there's a lot of activity when you're out there. It seems like there's more enemies, and you can see what they're doing from kind of a distance, which is always cool. It adds to that atmosphere, man. So
similar to with the Taken, we're gonna have to learn how to fight these Siva infected Fallen, because I'm sure they'll have different tactics, and they certainly look different. They look cool as hell, especially the captains just look badass.
Yeah, they fire those. I saw like a little floating like solar orb thing coming off one of them. That looked pretty cool.
I missed that. I'm gonna have to look at that.
It's a little bit like what wizards do, but like really slow, like it kind of tracks you. That's going to be interesting.
I'm going to one-bang them with my Nazi Gothic Gjallarhorn. That's what I'm going to do. I've already decided.
Hell yeah. It's going to be cool.
Yeah,
I didn't notice this personally, but some people in my chat were actually saying that they noticed that the super ability, when Deej used his arc super on his warlock, that the graphics were actually embellished, or they're a little bit more flourished to him when he actually popped that super, which is cool too, because they did that with the Taken King as well. Some of the supers got a little bit of a graphical upgrade.
Right. Well, the UI's looking different as well. Everything looks really cold when they access the the inventories, and Deej was changing them. And someone, I think it was the other chap, he was changing his no, it was Deej. It was inverting his stick.
Right.
It was a bit
pornographic.
Yeah, when he fell off.
It's not the first time.
For the first time ever, they cut to a different camera angle of another dev. I'm like, because usually when you see all the other devs playing, you never get to see what they're doing. It's almost as if they were just holding PlayStation controllers and not doing anything else. But they actually cut to him when Deej fell off, because it was like, I was expecting them to do a face palm kind of icon or something. But yeah, the UI was different inside the background from all the UI. Not that this was fantastic information or anything, but it was all blue and cold to reflect the atmosphere.
Cool.
That's cool.
I didn't notice that.
And in the top corner on the emblem of Deej as well, it was 355 light as well. But we knew that already, didn't we? That was the new light
so,
cap.
yeah.
355.
But any of these things could change, right? We saw like when they were walking through those tunnels that there were still, like some artifacts that aren't going to make it to the final game, like that luminosity. Textures aren't working properly. So there's a lot of, the game is still in development. They're running a a preview build that's probably old at this point, because often where the developers are and what actually is being shown is
there was no sound either. Because I was trying to pay attention to the sound of the pulse rifles, because quite often, and this is nitpicking, but like a lot of the audio hasn't changed for example, the pulse rifle archetypes that have been in the beginning of the game. The same with the scout rifles, they've got the same kind of sound effects. We did have new stuff with like the Armalon gear and the Suros gear. They had new sound design, but for the older stuff, so I was trying to pay attention to that, because pulse rifle stuff does sound very similar, so I was kind of hoping for some new sounds.
Yeah, I didn't notice.
No, because they turned the sound off. There was no sound.
Yeah.
Yes, it was annoying.
But yeah, I think it was a bit short as well. But I guess that, I saw a lot of people in the chat saying, "Thank God they didn't show us everything. I want to experience that for myself."
Yeah, I like how they showed this area that the Siva Fallen had actually cut a hole in an area and made like a new area to explore. And they showed us like the doorway, right? They showed us the opening, but they wouldn't go inside. So they hint that, there is some new stuff in the Cosmodrome, new areas for you to explore. But we're not going to show that to you, because we want to leave it for you to explore on your own, which I frankly really appreciate.
Yeah, well, I think what they really meant was, we haven't finished it yet. It's just black. I'll fall off the map. I'm going to fall down cube. I'll fall off the map and I'll fall forever. The stream will be done and we'll all get fired. But yeah, it was. I didn't expect. What was the first reveal stream like for Taken King? We had. I know it was much bigger though, wasn't it? The first stream for Taken King, it was like exploring the Dreadnought, and they had. Didn't they have Laced Up Lauren and a couple of other streamers and stuff? It was a much bigger deal, Yeah.
They did one with Mr. Fruit where they did the strikes, right? They did one with.
That was the
Court of Oryx.
Yeah, that was the second one. It was the Shield Brothers strike. The first one was just exploring the Dreadnought.
Okay, and that was with Lace Up Lore, and they went.
Yeah.
Is that the one where they went to the Court of Oryx, or did they just show it?
I think so. I think that was it.
Yeah, I think it was like bit of Dreadnought, a bit of Court of Oryx, and that was it, I think.
And they had the investment stream as well about the bounties and everything like that in the tower. And then we had, that was the other one.
And then we had all gear and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that they pick up pace, because if we're comparing this first stream to like last year, it was in comparison that it was a bit of a felt more rushed. We got as much information as we thought we were going to get. Exploring the Cosmodrome isn't exactly going in the ins and outs of all the major changes to the game on the first one. Yeah,
just a taste. Yeah, just whet your appetite.
Yes, it's like
that's it.
Like a small crisp bread with a smattering of caviar on it. That's
beautiful. Just a bite. Right. That's all you need.
But for the future,
it's not mealtime yet.
No, it's not, man.
Your dinner.
Put your knife and fork down. Stop bashing it off the table. Story. Come on, behave yourself.
But I this was cool to see. I was happy to see it. I am mega hyped for Gamescom when they're actually going to show the Crucible. Like, that is awesome. Huge for me, because I've been playing a lot of Crucible in the Taken King, because there's been such a lack of PvE content, and I'm really excited to see, are we going to get custom games? Are we going to get private matches? Like, is this happening? And I suspect we'll find out at Gamescom, which is August, I think, 18th through 20th. So we still got a ways to wait for that. We got a month to wait for the next reveal, but it's a big one. Like, it's a really significant one.
Yeah. Well, there is stuff to look forward to. Did they give any kind of inclination of when this next stream was going to happen? Exactly. Is Gamescom already got like an actual date this year?
Gamescom is the 18th through the 20th, I believe, of August.
Nice.
We don't know when Bungie will be there specifically.
We don't know what day, but I believe he pretty much said that'll be the next reveal. Will be that Crucible reveal.
That's quite soon. So we should get.
And I don't know about you guys, but I'd be perfectly okay if they never show us the Plaguelands before this thing ships. Like, if we drop into the Plaguelands and we have to explore it for ourselves, that's like the first time you see it is exploring it for yourselves. I'd be perfectly okay with that. Crucible, no. I want to see what the maps are. I want to see what the game modes are. I want to see what the new features are. I want to see all of it. But Plaguelands, strikes, raids, I'd be happy to explore that for myself.
I wouldn't mind
Yeah,
like a
absolutely.
small appetizer, but I agree. I'd like to be able to see that for the first time, my own self. I don't need to be sold a product here. I'm already interested. I'm already gonna have it, and I'd like to experience it firsthand.
And that's what these Bungie streams are, right? Is they're basically talking to their fans. They're not selling new people on the game with these things.
Yeah.
The Iron Gjallarhorn, if that makes it onto TV, that little trailer they showed, if that becomes a TV commercial, that might be selling new people. But I mean, it's a really cool trailer too. I love the way like all the Guardians are cheering for the guy as he drives by and giving him the thumbs up.
And he was doing an emote on top of his sparrow. I wonder if that's going to be a thing then. You're going to be able to perform your emotes on top of sparrow. So
you used to be able to do that, right? You used to be able to dance on your sparrow.
It was like a glitch, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a glitch.
Maybe it's something they've had in the coding then for a long time. You can actually.
I don't think they'd let a glitch in the trailer. I think it'd be a new feature that you can do a dance. Or there's certain emotes that are going to be sparrow specific. I think that's probably going to be more.
It could just have been like a cheeky call out to, that previous glitch, and
that's it.
Oh, it could have been. Yeah, you're right.
Of course, there could be more SRL scope with sparrow emotes or something.
That was very SRL oriented. The whole trailer was. So I would be really shocked if that wasn't coming back either straight away in September or at least what happened last year, where it was all over Christmas.
Yeah.
So
and I haven't really dissected that trailer scene by scene yet, which I will certainly do.
Nice.
Because I'm convinced that there is some major reveals inside that trailer, like some areas that we've never seen before.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I tuned into the stream and I was waiting for it, and then the moment the trailer started, I get a Finnish advert for milkshake or something stupid, which lasted. I couldn't skip it, and then
oh no!
And this was already the second time that they were playing the ad. So like, the last thing that I saw was like a bit of sparrow racing, and then a warlock doing a rise of the whatever emote on top of his bike, and I'm like, oh wow, nice, cheers. I'll watch that later then.
That's the whole expansion.
Right, yeah.
But there we go, man. I think we've covered it. We've slathered it in love, and we'll reconvene and chat more when the next one happens at Gamescom, and we'll chat Crucible definitely.
Absolutely.
I would like to mention that we skipped the weekly Nightfall that we do. I think we all have different names for that at this point.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we skipped that this week just because we knew we were going to do this week. So that will be returning next week.
Yeah.
For those who have enjoyed that series, it has become kind of a popular series.
Man,
really liking that.
I love doing the Nightfall. I mean, I don't know if there's any chance of us squeezing it in before the weekend. I don't know. You're probably packed out, Brian. You're like booked up every day. Now,
tomorrow I'm really booked too. I could probably get it done on Friday though, if you guys want to do it on Friday.
Yeah, sold. Let's do the Nightfall on Friday. Let's do it, man.
I heard it's a real son of a bitch. It's the Fallen Saber with Solar Burn.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that first part at the Warsat is really hard.
Yeah. So book a session for your therapist for directly afterwards for that bit. But yeah, we'll love you and leave you then, folks. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Storm Machine, Houndish has been Houndish, and Briar's been Briar. And
I have been.
Yes, we'll see you very soon.
See you next time.
Have a wonderful day.
Bye.